much, colleagues, for making through to our media briefing for Hae Lapeng Concert, championed by Performing Arts Center of the Free State, PACOFS. And we're just going to take you through a very overview and outline of what Hae Lapeng Concert is. I'm with my core team and colleagues. Needing no introduction, Kibondo, our musical director, and then we've got Zayn, our choreographer, and then from the artistic department office, we've got our producer, Annalisa, and of course myself, the artistic director of PACOFS, Napo Mashia. I would also like to take this opportunity to apologize on behalf of my line manager, our CEO, Ndade Themba Dlamini. However, he has sent keynotes, points that he would have shared with all of us. He had to step out and he's out of town. However, he's with us in energy, in vibe, in spirit. I'm such a theater person. Normally, when I speak, I'm so used to standing up, so I feel so trapped. But sit down. Just from our CEO, Dr. Themba Dlamini, he has said that the Hae Lapeng is PACOF's signature program and remains so also as a flagship. And by flagship, we mean that beyond us being a playhouse, among other playhouses, we are part of the South African State Theatre in Tshwane. We are also part of the Market Theatre in Johannesburg. We're also part of the Nelson Mandela Bay Theatre in PE. We're also part of the Durban Playhouse, of course, in Durban, and also another playhouse, Artscape in Western Cape. So we are agencies of Department of Sports, Arts and Culture National, and that is what we call our motherboard. So as much as we are rooted in different provinces, our core mandate is to uplift and to artistically contribute and enhance artistic works that comes from provinces, but also connecting local or provincial artists with other national and international artists across. So that's part of us as being the playhouses. By flagship, also every artistic director, myself included, it's part of my mandate to make sure that I create original concepts that amplifies and celebrates and affirms and showcases the artistic works from Free State. So Hae Lapeng is one of those flagships. Currently, I have two flagships. It is Hae Lapeng, which happens annually, the last Saturday of the end of financial year. So our financial year ends end of March in South Africa. So hence this year Hae Lapeng is happening on the 30th. Last year I think it happened on the 25th or 24th, if I'm not mistaken. Next year it's happening on the 29th. So it means that as we perform this one is already starting to plan a year ahead for next year. But I'll take you guys through that more. The second flagship, which is more of a theatre play, and it happens again as it's something I have to create every year. But currently we are using Tababusiu, the musical, as part of that flagship. But next year it's going to be another new play. A play that really has almost 98%, if not 99% of the local talent, with 1% being your core team that is diverse, that brings different expertise across national and international. So I wanted to give that context. The CEO also says that Hae Lapeng exhibit various performing arts talent, knowledge and genres in the form of actors, dancers, poets and so forth. He also says that Hae Lapeng will enter into a space of documentary. So the dream as well is also to show not just among ourselves to be able to measure our growth and reflect, but also we want to start documenting the making of artistic works and performing arts productions. Often people see the end product, but I think with the vision of the CEO, we want to start documenting and showing what happens, the conversations between the core team, the fights, the disagreements, the laughter, the tears of performance, the stress, but also the beauty of why all of us are creating collectively this work. So there's also a sense of the creative sparks and the excitement and the butterflies, everything that makes performance, and then the end product. So CEO really is championing for us to also eventually making sure that theatre meets the digital space. Once we've documented the likes of Hae Lapeng, it's going to be easy for us to put on digital platforms and for the whole world to be exposed to the offerings that we have beyond, the PACOFS walls. He also says that Hae Lapeng, will also be a platform for different communities across Free State. We've got 5 districts and showcasing the game changers. But also the international communities are part of this game changers. And I think you'll see how even currently we've got some international guests. Local players in different sectors as well are welcomed. So we are looking at partnerships and collaborations and hoping that eventually we will attract corporate investors to come and really contribute into theatre landscape, but also creative industry as a whole within Free State. And really things like productions like Hae Lapeng are the ones that are sparking that conversation to say, see what we are capable of doing and see what we are doing. We need you to come and reinvest and literally turn our artistic or airborne talents, as I call them, into a gig economy so that artists be sustainable. So that is our message from CEO. I'm going to take you colleagues through very briefly what Hae Lapeng Concert production looks like, or what our audiences and our guests should be expecting. As you can see, our logos there, we've already acknowledged Department of Sports, Arts and Culture National, because sometimes there's a misconception that we more centralized provincial. We work with provincial, but our mandate and our reporting is to the mother body, which is national. But also everybody knows that this year for South Africa is quite a very special year. We celebrated 30 years of democracy. So within the works that we are also going to be displaying across the Hae Lapeng, we also be cognizant of the 30 years. And one of the aspects as well beyond this is the fact that the Basotho Nation are celebrating 200 years of bicentennial. So we're also cognizant of saying, as Free State has with a majority of Basotho, and of course being close to our neighbors from Lesotho, we need to take cognizance of the pride and the creation of this amazing nation. The date is there, 30 March 2024. Here, one is really just saying why the concept of Hae Lapeng. It's really, it gives different activities which form part of our artistic strategic plan. And like I said, I've already mentioned the flagship, but there are key objectives to say that we're creating flagships like Hae Lapeng to preserve PACOFS' unique artistic narrative, so no other theatre is doing what we're doing, and I can proudly say that. So this is groundbreaking. And that allows us to be competitively positioned and to position the Brandia Performing Arts Center of the Free State both nationally and internationally. But also, as I've also said it, we really want to attract new stakeholders. So we're looking at the Friends of the Theatre. We're looking at having ambassadors who really carry and uphold Free State faces. So we hope that eventually we can get all these Free State artists who have left the province, but encourage them to come back and become the faces of what the creative industry, in the Free State looks like. all of us started from small towns. You know, I grew up in Kwakwa, but also you've got all these amazing celebrated artists. You've got Malay, you've got Tony Khwaboge, you've got Bo David Gao, you've got Bo Fana Mokoena. So all these celebrities, and like Bo Mahan Mama Pulo in film, we're in different places. So it just makes sense that at some point we need to be the faces of what creative industry landscape in the Free State is. And that will talk about partnership. As said it, we're looking for more funders and sponsors. Our budget, as you will see on the APP, which is very public domain, and on our website, it does outline how much budget we get. Sometimes there's it could be a misconception that because we are the infrastructure is so big and the theater is so big that we have big budgets, but really we are always working on a shoestring budget. Hence, it's important for funders and sponsors who are beyond the borders of creativity can come along. But more than anything, it's very important for PACOFS to enhance the development of Free State artists along international landscape. So the idea is not just for us to be on stage and have all these big names. It's also very important to bring young people, and I think Zayn will speak to that. That's why we do auditions for dancers. That's why when Bondo started last year, did auditions for backing vocalists. So there's always a constant reminder that as we shine, we need to make sure that we bring along other young artists and to really expose them. And by exposure, not to say exposing to exploit, but expose them to where they can go and what they can become, but also they can at least interact with these big names and find out behind the stage in conversations like, how did you get here? What were the challenges? What are the beautiful milestones? And they can get encouraged. And the last two parts is to display snippets of our in-house and out-of-house. So by in-house, we mean all the teasers of some of the productions that some of our audience members missed between 2023 and 2024. We use Hae Lapeng to show those teasers. Out of house as well, some of the guest performances that we had that were not necessarily commissioned by PACOFS also get to be showcased, and I think you'll see more. But also we also are giving a nice teaser for what to expect. So even on stage, it's artists that are going to be performing for the next financial year. So what people to look up to and to expect artistically. And of course, as part of our key vision, mission, and value is to become the iconic hub of performing arts in South Africa. The aesthetics of PACOFS in terms of theatrical machinery position PACOFS as one of the top biggest theaters within the Southern Hemisphere. So the kind of machinery we have here is so special. It even beats other theaters like State Theatre and Artscape. So in the Southern Hemisphere, our aesthetics and what our stage can do and stand to be seen is the biggest. The magic that one is able to create through that machinery position us as the best in the Southern Hemisphere. And here I'm just showing colleagues. This is just reflection of last year from the dance. We had Austina Mnomsana, we had Mapaseka, we had Amanda Black, of course Bondo. We also had some artists from as far as Vezile Dabi. We had a backing vocalist there, and we had people, artists such as Tamara Day. So also it's very key for us to really remember the mandate of social cohesion. Our mandate is just not to be there and artistic, but it's also constantly to stretch out to other ethnic groups and so forth. The theme for this year is industrial landscape. And by industrial landscape means the look and feel and the theme. When you think of home, you also think of work. Our grandmothers and grandfathers had to constantly leave home to go work, go to kitchen, or but also in the current times, for us to be able to drive smoothly across, Bloemfontein or across Free State, it takes construction workers. Some of us are able to come to work because we have people babysitting our kids. So industrial landscape is about celebrating the day-to-day workers who make us to shine. For instance, even with us, with artists, it takes a whole team to make us shine on stage. It takes, cleaners, it takes security guards, it takes stage crew, painting the stage, putting the lights, climbing up the stairs to make sure that we have that look and feel. So this year we're saying home away from home is also our workspaces, and we want to celebrate the workers who are becoming our siblings and our, you know, there's that uncle. We've got, you know, oh, my mother, you know, sister, you know, it's really has become a family setting, Hae Lapeng. So that's the theme for this year. But also in the little snippets that we're saying, so what every artist is also reflecting through the artistic expression is the essence of home. So all of us here, and even, you know, all the lineup, the constant question was that even when you want to sing, what does home mean to you? What reminds you of home? Even if you dance, what reminds you of home? Even if you're doing poetry, through poetry, what is home to you? So that's what everybody will be answering. As you can see, the core team, it's the first time we're having a poster of our own, so thank you so much. Normally, you know, we created that, but there's your team. But also just to say the genres that we'll be covering is theatre, and theatre is quite broad because it means performance art, it means site-specific things, but also theatre can also mean, you know, drama that we know, like debate and stuff like that. So theatre is quite broad. But also there's element of dance, of poetry, which is also part of spoken word, and music as well is quite broad, and I think Bondo and Zen will speak further on that. Theatre is not just theatre without costume and things that I remember said that where we work is also home. So part of what we're going to be doing is exhibiting the costumes, different costumes that we have at PACOFS. We have almost 3 floors of costume, from Elizabethan era to African theatre, to protest, to children's theatre, and we also want to use Hae Lapeng. So when the audience is coming in on that day, one of the first things they're going to see in the foyer, which is just here upstairs, will be different installations of our costume. And they can immerse it. The nice thing and the good thing that also this house is that people can rent out for parties at home, costume parties and stuff. So we're just gonna exhibit that and share with our audiences and guests. One of the beautiful things about theatre is also visual exhibition. So you can already see where Hae Lapeng is going. It's a melting pot of everything, different genres. So we're also going to exhibit some visual and photographic stuff. We'll see also through with our marketing team. You know, we can also showcase the posters of all the shows that have taken place here at PACOFS as it is. This is also just to show that when the guests are coming, they're going to see this. But it's not just that. We also have hair exhibition, right? The different hairstyles that we're going to be, you know, you just as an actor, as a performer, you don't just get on stage. You know, there's hairdos. You know, if you are playing old, we must see how old you can get. So there's makeup and hair. So we're gonna start venturing in showing the audience, you know, you look at us on stage, our nails are done, our hair, our beads are here and here, but also the people behind the scenes are gonna be exhibiting the whole look and feel of hair, of makeup, and nails, you know, basic things like nails and stuff like that. So those are going to be part of the visual exhibition on the day. And then for every creator, and in this case as an artistic director, you need to have your sequence of events. And normally this transcends into an actual script. The entrance is the exit, but I need to paint for my team and the cast and all the artists and creatives and the crew what is the sequence of a show. So in a nutshell, this just gives you, you know, there's the costume visuals, Bondo, Hae Lapeng, so also people know who to go to, you know, for music. Who are the dancers that are here, who are the vocals that are here, and stuff like that. So this is what we call sequence spot for every artistic director. So before you even do the script, you must be able to imagine and really put into the mind the sequence of one show. And we've shown that, our big names and all that. Next, I'm just gonna show, just, you know, in a flow, our numbering. So for 2024 Hae Lapeng, our program directors are DJ Lovers and Didi Makobani. So they will be holding the program for us, and we are quite excited to have them on board. Again, there's a sense of home, there's a sense of playfulness, there's a sense of, you know, DJing that is part of our everyday life in our communities and our households. And then of course we take pride in our Free State homegrown artists. For poetry we have Lady Bird, and then as one of our key vocalists we have Kutala. And also in terms of, as much as Zainu is going to be working with young dancers, we've also brought in a very prominent Free State dancer who is like your Hae Lapeng dancer. So that's the one who does the special things, you know, the most out of the box things that people, more than dance actually, performance art. And I can't wait for you guys to see what I was cooking. I think, and you know, Wanabutabe was just so amazing. The ideas that he has and how he's going to respond to Hae, what Hae means to him. And of course we've got Besapeku, an actor, a narrator, but also very prominent somebody in terms of community theatre within the Free State landscape. So we're quite excited, and he's here today as well, because they have to, most of them are starting to rehearse today. And then we do have our local, and then we reached out to our industry friends. So we do have Tamara Day came last year and literally begged us, I want to come back again and again and again. And we're like, hold on, we will bring you, but we're not sure if for other years. We need to give other people. But what we like, the Lady of Guaido is a musically trained musician. So meaning she can act, dance, and sing. And I think to have, it's what we call in theatre triple threat. So when she comes with me, she's just not coming as Tamara Day, she's coming as a holistic triple threat performer. So Zane's dancers will be the dancers at Tamara Day and other performers. So it already tells you, new young people, how big this is for them to be able to dance for some of these artists. And then we are very, very excited to have Rosa Albert with Tulani and Hamilton. They're going to do a snippet from Rosa Albert. Remember, it's 30 years. Remember, Protest Theatre is part of our home in theatre going back in time. So Rosa Albert is one of the most celebrated theatre productions as a set work, but also in terms of protest theatre. So most of us got into the industry because of your Mbongeni Ngemas and your Pesi Mtua. We also have a renowned percussionist, Dadevoli Chabele, who plays over 250 instruments, indigenous instruments, across the continent and the world. So we're looking forward to having him. And we have Hae Lapeng Divas with Nziki and Dudu. Nziki is our home girl here. Dudu's from Frankfurt, and Soles, who's their friend. And they're going to encapsulate what home means for us from the mid-50s music, both between Sophia Town and Motown. So already tells you, Sophia Town meets Motown. And then we do have our headliner, press, Wana Data. We're very proud of that. You know, Wana Virginia, Litinizen, everywhere. So we're looking forward to that. But I also wanted to say that it goes back to what we said, that we are showing teasers of what happened and what people missed. Press celebrated 25 years in the industry and was doing a tour, and he closed his tour here at PACOFS on partnership, and without us, really not including him. It sold very well, they did very well, and it was quite successful, so we called him back to say, hey, can you celebrate with us again? However, as well, we also have our 2 international artists, producers, musicians, creatives in their own right, from the USA, California, Damon Tanner and Jennifer Jones. They are coming with their team. They're going to be performing. They are musicians, poets, visual artists. Jennifer is also going to exhibit some of her visual arts. The nicest thing with this kind of collaborations and what I call artistic migration, because of work, you know, when you think of Bo Huma Sigela, Bo Miga Mageba, they always had to travel across the world to work artistically. Is the fact that we're reigniting that, and we're not reigniting it for any province but Free State. So we want them to also see what we are offering, and if they need to export talent, this is an opportunity. So Hae, you invite people to come have tea with you, and to have, like we did today, so they are coming to have tea with us, but we hope next time they'll invite us to come have tea in their own platforms. And there's our overall poster. And then here's just some info, and I can share with our marketing team to be able to send you guys this presentation for anything you want to do. Our musical director, Bondo, needs no introduction. And Bondo is the second time he's a musical director for Hae Lapeng, so I think it's quite interesting to see and to hear next about his view. And also Zain, and I want to say that again, Zain's show was the first show, or second show last year, April, and since I had taken to office, was the first show that sold out for straight three days, and I was quite impressed, because sometimes we curate, but when there are no bumps on seats, somehow one is still being questioned as an administrator, was therefore that show successful? So at the end of the day, it's not just what you present, it's also the numbers of people who are attending. And they proved to us that as PACOFS is going to do this new vision, and as it's rebranding itself, that the likes of creatives like Zain allow us to also meet the audiences and the particular target market. So with his company, House of Dirty Shakers, it can already tell you. So he will also share with us what's his vision. Other than that as well, one of the things we're going to celebrate, as I mentioned, is our Tababusiu, the musical. And the reason why we're going to bring a snippet from Tababusiu is because we are about to go on tour. So it has 98% Free State talent. And in June, we're going to be going to National Arts Festival. And I do need to say that it's almost 12 years the last time PACOFS took a production to Grahamstown National Arts Festival. So we're very proud for all these young Free State people who are going to be at National Arts Festival. But not only that, immediately from National Arts Festival, we go straight to the South African State Theatre. And as all of you know, South African State Theatre is the biggest theatre in the continent. So this 98% of Free Staters are going to go on tour, holding the brand, the face of Free State, in celebration of 200 years, and in this big stage. And we're hoping that, because we'll be closer to embassies, some cultural officers will take interest in the work that comes from Free State, and therefore the dream and the vision is to eventually tour this production internationally, like your Umojas, like your Ipindombi, like your Soweto Gospel Choir. So the vision when we create flagships is that they get cooked at home, but the meal gets served nationally and internationally. That's what we're doing. On that note, Banaveso, I'll hand over to Bondo to say a few words, and Zain, and then Annelise, our producer, will say which artists are in this week and next week, who are available for interviews, and then we can take questions. Thank you, Bondo.
Good morning, everyone. Myself as a musical director, I'm very super excited to be working with AD and Zain himself and our guests from USA, Damon and Jennifer. So our main goal in the music department is to give our audience the taste of what home is, right? And our duty for myself and the team is to interpret the music in a way that will give our audience that nostalgic feeling, and remembering that music is the only thing that gets to the soul without consent, and it really hits home, pun intended. So music having the power to nurture the inner self, that's exactly what we are aiming for. And growing up listening to the old school music has really helped me to interpret this music thing in a way that people will understand it and receive it very, very well. And I'm very excited to be working with the whole team, the dancers and AD and everybody. And please do come on the 30th and enjoy. It's going to be a remarkable and a well executed production. Thank you very much.
Zain, I would like also to invite our senior marketing manager. Because there's a reason why there's all these images. So I think also for any questions that we might have for marketing, he's our senior marketing manager. So I wanted to formally introduce him as well. Zain.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you guys are doing well. Firstly, I would like to say thank you, AD and artistic team, for having me on this team. It's such a diverse and dynamic team. Being in the industry for 20 years, I'm honored at this opportunity being presented. What are we cooking in the rehearsal studio as the choreographer? Like I said to AD, we have a fresh approach this year for Hae Lapeng. We're serving a 7 colors meal, which is diversity. Different dance styles, dance genres we are welcoming on the platform. From tutting and voguing, to old school, to every single dance genre that we can possibly fit into the 4-hour, 5-hour show, we're going to present on that stage. I'm very, very excited. We found great talent in the auditions, and it's very important, as AD mentioned, that we link up our local dancers with these national and international and local artists as well for the resume to speak, so that they can find better opportunities, so that the doors can be opened. And I'm honored to be able to work with a team that provides that to these dancers. And I'm looking forward to working with you guys and the journey ahead. Thank you.
And then I will just, thank you, Tama. Hand over to our producer, Annalisa, and then I'll just speak to Tata Mfaneki, so if you have maybe a few words as well from the marketing perspective, and then we can take questions, Q&A. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I don't think this is on.
Is it on?
Yes.
Is it?
Is it?
Yes.
I think you just need to project.
Good morning, everyone. Mine is not much. It's just to let you know which artists we have for each week in the rehearsal spaces. So should you need to have anybody for interviews, you liaise either with our internal marketing team and the marketing team from KM Holdings. So for this week, we have in the rehearsal room, we have Bondo and the band, which also is accompanied by backing vocalists, who is Lucky-ish and Nomatemba. And then we have the House of Dirty Shakers in another rehearsal space, which is Zayn and the Dancers. And we have a resident dancer at Thabo Murwe in also one of the rehearsal venues within this week. So, Siskutala and Lady Bird will be joining us as of Wednesday. So should you need to schedule any interviews within this week, you liaise with us, and then we will arrange with the artists that are in-house this week. And then from next week, we will have the Hae Lapeng Divas, which is Zikinzume, Dudu Makoba, and Soles. And we have the MCs, which is DJ Lovers and Didi Makobani. And then we'll have Ndate Voli Chabeleng later on in the week. We'll have our US visitors as well in the rehearsal room. So from the 25th, we will have then the headliners in-house should you need to schedule any interviews. Thank you so much.
And press, and Tamar.
Obviously press from the 28th, 29th, and yeah, those 2 days they will be in town, so we can schedule interviews then. Thank you.
And one of the things I just wanted to add is that the next thing with when the big headliners come next week, they're also going to be doing outreach programs. So we are going to take them to schools, we're going to take them to different platforms. Damon and Jennifer as independent music producers on the 27th. They are going to screen a theatre play, but also they're going to do a masterclass on producing and owning your rights, and how to self-produce yourself and then connect with the international market. So we're going to have artists going to schools. We are going to have them going to community-based theatre groups and doing masterclasses. So again, as Annalisa said, AM said, it's an opportunity if you want to follow us, just liaise with our marketing department and in terms of pop-outs. But let me also allow that Mfaneki to further, just make additions.
Is it still morning?
It's up. Yeah, it's still morning.
Yes, it's still morning. Is it on?
Yes.
Okay. Good day, everybody. I'm Vuyo Mufariso, as AD has said. I think from our side, what is most exciting is that we managed to get a go-ahead from the CEO to do an arts ambassadorship program with the students from different universities, but I think we can extend it to even local people as well, whereby anybody can sell PACOFS tickets. Anybody can sell PACOFS ticket at a commission. So with the students, for example, with our usual prices, they'll always get a 20% discount. So it's something that we look forward to start with this production. So we'll have something on our socials before the end of today. To just, we don't have a number, regardless of how many people want to register as PACOFS arts ambassadors. They'll be welcome, and they'll have their own commission. So I think that will assist a great deal, not only in this production, but all of the productions moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you, colleagues. I don't know if there's any questions, but we're here to answer through, and also one thing I want to also talk about is our early birds. So we've got early birds tickets that are open. There's also group prices like Dr. Fanikiso has elaborated. So I think part of us to make sure that our own people know that, you know, there's something beautiful, 7 course, 7 color meal, a buffet being served, and they can come and eat. Like Zaina said, it's a 4 to 5 hour show straight up with everything weaved together. So yeah, indeed, we're looking for that. So any questions, and they can be directed at anyone, we are here to answer. Thank you. And I think we have a roaming microphone somewhere.
Yeah, there is.
Oh, thank you.
Dumelang. Ketapelo from Cloud Online TV. My question is directed to you, AD. You said the program, you'll also be taking it to schools. I'm not sure if I'm up to date the timelines. This week. Is that not going to affect you guys going to schools?
I think beyond that, when you look at some art schools, as much as Dikwezi, they're going to really take the advantage of the guests that are here. So we also are aware that universities are closing and everything else, but there's also clubs, social clubs in universities that we will be, you know, we've been engaging with, and we will be visiting. But I also know for a fact that even Gadi 1, Damon and Jennifer, the plan is also to take them to go Atikon in Eastern Free State, Wokwakwa. So we already pre-planned with the schools to say, Easter holidays, but we only have this artist for this time. If you are keen for your, you know, for young artists to have a conversation, this is the moment. Same thing with Gadi 27. So as much as Dikolo Dikwetsu, it's an opportunity for schools that are doing. I know for a fact that on Wednesday, the marketing department has, we've got an excursion, school excursion. So we've got 90 kids coming from school, one of the schools, and they're going to be witnessing how Bondo and Zayn are working. So they're going to be touring the theater, but the nice thing is that they also get to interact and see how the music is done, what Zayn is working with. So there's a lot of excursions as well. So as much as sometimes it might be not that 100% we're going outside, we will be here on the 27th. I know for a fact that we have a theater company from Lesotho who is Incubants. They are coming in for that masterclass. So we really, you know, hitting, what did they say? Hitting how many beds with how many stones? Yeah, one bed with, I don't know, what are you doing? So it's like one stone, but you're hitting many beds. You're not able, yeah.
Just a follow-up, if I may. So I've got a schools program that I'm running. Am I allowed to Askis? Oh, Askis. I've got a schools program that I'm running. Am I able to kind of like hijack your program and bring some of the learners, or you visit those schools in trying to market and
call it by name, from Gasi to PACOFS.
From Gasi to PACOFS.
Yeah, so that's part of the planning. That's why. So I think that the only thing happened is just a question of just liaising Lintole, Annalisa, Lindate, Mfaneki, so that we make. So I know that that's one of our CEO specialist initiatives. So what, and I even, you know, we've been conversing later now. the artists are here.
Yes.
So wherever where we can plant them, are we taking Njobes there? Are we taking just snippets of, are we taking Tabo there, or who else can we take there? But also the nice thing is that even as a core team, because also remember, part of outreach programs is to highlight different careers in theatre. So young people think performance art or live performance or entertainment is about the performance, but look what it takes. You've got a senior marketing manager, you've got a musical director, you've got a artistic director, you've got. So we can bring our costumier, we can bring more data from sound. So what I'm saying is that we also want to show different careers that make up a show, so that Banababo will never understand. No, it's not just about the spotlight. It's also about making and creating the actual spotlight.
Thank you.
From Central TV. I just want to, number one, to thank AD and the team. You launched it last year. Such a bravery, and it was a success. But I believe that we've learned other things. This year is going to be better than that. So the question that I have is, number one, which theater you guys are going to use? Because right now I'm aware that the theater is on renovations. That's the first question. Number two, 7 colors. But last year and late this year, I'm not seeing King comedy. I don't know whether have you maybe put your mind to it, to say, as we are growing this, we should also have comedians growing under this pot, this brand. And then to the producer. Oh, she just went out. Okay.
Oh, there she is. To
Okay.
the producer.
I just wish that with what she just presented here, can she at least send us either the dates, either on
A schedule.
a schedule, so that we are able to say, okay, this is what's happening, and then whom are we looking for, when and why. And the last one would be issue I feel PACOFS with the potential that you guys have. I feel you are downplaying yourself. I feel you can do better, more especially on social media. You can invest a lot with the talent, the skill, and everything, so that this beast, it is going wide awake, moving forward. So Amaka, this team, because last year there was not this year there's this. I believe that marketing, I believe that marketing can definitely go take advantage of this. And we don't even mind or invite the proposal study program to say, as the production houses out there, what can we do to make sure that we reach where it's supposed to reach? And thank you.
Thank you so much, Shivu. Thank you. Thank you firstly for affirming us. And yes, it grows. I do believe that, they say you're as good as your last show. So of course, every after production we reflect, we evaluate each other, we critique each other, and then one aspires for better and for more. Finances are always a hiccup. However, we're not going to have excuses not to keep creating until a particular funder, a particular sponsor also comes to invest, so that it can even be much more bigger. But thank you so much. Yes, there's more. I think the 7-color meal is the best way to outline it. It's a joke between me and Zayn, but it's actually one of the things I use on social media to say, go high on Sunday, you would run after church and look forward to a 7-course meal, because that's the only day coleslaw, rice, you can even have the biggest piece of the meat and gravy. That's the only day. Other than that, come and do Papa the cabbage. So Sundays are quite good, and I think for me as well, because it reminds me of my grandmother's kitchen. You know, the sense of home in winter, and you know, even if we don't have much, but you know that, you know, I always knew that my maternal grandmother will make sure that come Sunday we have 7 course and 7 color meal. I have considered comedy. Definitely have considered comedy, like I said, I'm already working on 2025 Hae Lapeng, and also I'm cognizant of her. Right, so you keep on adding on and putting a texture there and there. It's definitely going to be there in 2025. We've usually spoken about that. I spoke to the producer about that. You know, why not twist it? Maybe, you know, but the same way we twisted this year. Last year, Nelly Mapaseka program direct. This year we've got DJ Lovers, who's a DJ and an MC. You've got Didi, who's an actor and an MC. So maybe next year, then you get a comedian who, you know, who is, you know, a multifaceted kind of thing. But we definitely are considering it. You asked about the venue. I had to really speak to Tatema Vaso and bend his arm to at least for the as you can see, our face is changing outside. There's more changes that are coming. Already you can see from our main reception, you know, it's being redone. So we are facelifting a lot of stuff for PACOFS. The fence is coming. There's a lot of nice, beautiful things that are coming to really, you know, complement what's happening inside. So SEND is closed for renovations until July, but we really asked the contractors if they can please lend us the venue for 2 weeks. That's all we ask, because I'll tell you what, we thought of Sinangata, but when you look at the cost of putting lights and of getting particular chairs and putting sound, we would rather have artists get paid than the big budget going to light and sound. So the motivation was like, you know what, guys, let's take it back to SEND. Because if we go to Sinangata, which is like a warehouse, which could work very nice with that theme, the majority of the money is going to go on lights and sound, because it's not built for the magnitude of this particular concert production idea. So that's when we say it's going to SEND to PCs, but also SEND is beautiful because then the machinery moves and so much. So it's also kind of exciting with it. And hopefully though, as we get more budget, I still want to do SEND, because SEND, Ngangata had was going to do 5 stages. And I think it was going to be a beautiful wow factor. So I think with more investors and sponsorship, we will eventually take it to Ngangata to show the growth artistically and to have 5 stages where things are just happening in different stages. So that's the dream. And I think that Mfaniki so and the team, you know, we taking the feedback and the encouragement to be more robust in terms of social media. I don't know if you want to say anything.
No, true. I think true. I think it would have been a missed opportunity if we don't utilize fully what we are, because in essence we are a very key strategic asset of the province and of the country, and we're centrally located within South Africa. What are we doing about it? You know, we need to even start thinking more about arts tourism within the Free State. How do we attract people from outside with vehicles like this one, classic one, of how to just expand on it, keep growing it to a level that 10 years down the line you say it's been happening for 10 years. You know, because if we don't do that, we would have missed a big opportunity. Yes, sir.
Service providers, then they can just organize how we get hold of them. Even if the nice things that even our African American friends are already starting to do PR from that side. So you also see more visibility of them, you know, announcing and showing what they are cooking and bringing this side of home. So yeah, I think in a nutshell, colleagues, that's where we are. That's Hae Lapeng 2024. More exciting things to come next year. You know, site-specific installation. It would be nice for a performance to start from the street. It would be nice to have a carnival. It would be nice to have a street art. But all these things, really, we're hoping as we grow, reflect, and get more financial support from other structures that we really will enforce. And that this could also become one of the highlights. And I keep saying to the team, it just has to happen once off, one day. So we're not going to be dragging 3 days, no. Once off, one day, even if it means performance starts at 10 in the morning with the carnival or performance art or street art, and it ends with the concert. It's just one day, once off. That's what's going to position us as competitive. But everybody knows us, that the Vanessa says, when they're on their N1, going to Cape Town, on Friday they sleep here to have that experience the whole day, and then Sunday they go. Same thing. Once off, one shot, one opportunity, one presentation, one Hae Lapeng cook meal, and that's it. We'll see you again the following year. At least now they will know what's on our menu. So if there are not any questions, but we are available here as well for further engagements, colleagues. Okay, just hold on.
Sorry, Nick. I just want to make sure that everyone is aware already. The panel is available after this for one-on-one interviews. So they'll be here after the whole thing. Thank you.
So thank you. Hae Lapeng, 30th of March from 6 p.m. until late. Tickets are 150 at web ticket. Early bird is still running through. Thank you, everyone. Oh, there's a question.
Yes, I have a question. On the live here, they're asking a question. How is the Hae Lapeng going to benefit the youth of
So Hae Lapeng is benefiting, or is going to benefit Youth Yamango, because the majority are young people who are going to be featured along established artists. But also it means that you've got young artists from, not just Mangaung, I want to be specific, from different districts who are going to be, for 2 weeks, having access to cream de la cream of what theatre and creative industry is. So they can have conversations, they can network, they can pitch and present themselves, they can create collaborations, they can create exchanges, whatever it is. It's not every day that as a young creative you have access to this kind of the caliber of artists. And the fact that you're going to be with them for the whole 14 days or even 5 days, I think it's the biggest blessing. It's not a once-off. It's a constant, it's like being part of a master class for 14 days straight up.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, colleagues. Please feel free to continue nibblings, if there's still any, a coffee, and then we can also chat. Thank you, everyone. Have a good and wonderful. And thank you so much for hitting the call. Thank you for the support. Normally we're talking about content, but content without media highlighting and celebrating and spreading the word out of our box, it's undermined. So we see you guys and we really appreciate it, and it's through you as Performing Arts Center of the Free State that we know that our people will know and see the change and witness the beauty that Free State arts landscape has to offer. So Galileo, thank you for making it.